Hello friends, good morning and thanks for watching my first video. As I had told during my first video that on the second one I would be speaking on something technical. So today I am going to speak about section 2061H, which speaks about tax collected at source, TCS as we know. Now before I move on to the technicalities of what is mentioned in legal provision, for layman's understanding let me explain the difference between TDS and TCS. So TDS stands for tax deducted at source, which is applicable from the perspective of buyer of services, and so it also means that it is applicable mostly for services. So for example, if a buyer avails certain services from seller, while paying he deducts certain amount, certain percentage which is mentioned in the TDS section, and then pays, files the return so that it is reflected in seller's TDS statement and he can take the credit at the time of filing of return. Now TCS is applicable to seller. So seller, in addition to the amount which he is collecting in invoice, has to collect that much extra from the buyer, then deposit to the government, file the return, and the remaining stuff remains same. So it gets reflected in statement of buyer this time. This is the basic difference. Now TDS is known not only to the professionals but also to businessmen because it is applicable to most of them. Even if they are dealing in manufacturing industry, still they do avail certain services due to which they are aware about TDS. However, TCS, although it exists since many years, but so basic section, even if this subsection is introduced in this Finance Act, basic 206C is there since many years. However, that is applicable only for a limited type of goods. Hence, it is not applicable to majority of the businessmen, hence not known. Now, what this subsection is different is that it is now applicable for all sale of any goods. There is a threshold, but applicability is now for the entire industry. So hence this is very important. Also it is already in effect since 1st October 2020, and even if now you are below threshold, you need to understand because it is only matter of threshold, and if it crosses or the threshold is reduced in future, then it straight away is applicable to you. So hence this is the main difference why this needs to be understood now almost by every businessman, because it is now applicable to everyone bearing the threshold. Now the screen in front of you is a legal provision as it is written in the act, and then the interpretation is something which I have written. So this is an article written by me. We will not go through the all pages, but the legal provision which is written needs to be read because most of the things come out of that and it is interpreted out of the legal provision. Then there are certain clarifications. So let's read it. Every person being a seller who receives any amount as consideration for the sale of any goods of the value or aggregate of such value exceeding 50 lakh rupees in any previous year, other than the goods being exported out of India. So here it clearly indicates that it is not applicable to export. The other thing which it speaks about is the threshold of 50 lakh rupees. Then there was a clarification that this 50 lakhs to a single buyer, okay, or goods covered in section 206C of subsection 1, which I was speaking that it is there since many years. So what it speaks in this subsection is that other than, meaning export is out, someone to whom earlier section 206 is applicable is also out of this subsection. So those need not apply with both. Or subsection 1F or subsection 1G shall at the time of receipt of such amount, means to the ones whom this subsection is applicable, the current one, shall at time of receipt of such amount, means not at the time of sale but at the time of receipt, collect from the buyer a sum equal to 0.1% of the sale consideration exceeding 50 lakhs. Means again, what it mentions in is when. It means it at the time of receipt. The other thing it mentions is how much. So only on the sum which exceeds 50 lakh. As I said, most of the things does come out straight via the reading of legal provision. Certain things were clarified due to confusion. How this 50 lakh has to be calculated, as I told you, it's only for you have to count per buyer, so it's not aggregate 50 lakhs. Further, if the buyer does not furnish their PAN or Aadhaar number to the seller shall collect from the buyer a sum equal to 1%. So the rate only changes, rest all condition remains same. Without PAN it becomes 1 instead of 0.1. Now, as I said, I will not go through entire interpretation because I have already explained in simple words. We will straight go through the flow chart for easy understanding of to know whether this is applicable to you or not. As I said, the basic difference between TDS and TCS applicable to seller, hence the flow chart starts with seller. So you are a seller, yes. Turnover exceeding rupees 10 crore, this was through notification. This is not mentioned in the legal provision. That does it mean it applies to everyone? No. If your turnover during preceding, so if this section is started from this year, applicable from 1st October 2020. So preceding year will mean 1920. If during 1920 your turnover has exceeded 10 crore, then only this section applies to you. So if it is no, then not to be collected. Then moving on to second condition, whether your the aggregate value exceeds rupees 50 lakhs. This was mentioned in the legal provision, but as I said, there was a clarification on how to calculate. Hence note what is written in bracket, that it is to single buyer. If that is no, then no TCS shall be collected. Further, it is written not applicable if goods are exported and if goods already liable for TCS under the earlier section. This is already mentioned in the legal provision. Then if both are met, it is to be collected. Then it is only about what rate to be collected. So if PAN Aadhaar is there, then 0.1%. If not there, then 1%. Then there was a relaxation given. There is a relaxation given due to COVID-19 situation. It is not only for this subsection, but across TDS and TCS, all the rates are reduced by 25% until 31st March 2021 for working capital purposes. Hence you can see in my flowchart 0.1 is written as 0.075, but it is only a relaxation. Basic rate is 0.1%. This relaxation is as of now applicable only till 31st March 2021. So my friends, this is the basic but a very good understanding of the TCS provision. Procedural aspect is very easy. You can get it anywhere. If required, you can ask me. I will send you and you can get it. So the things which needs to be done on time, so that interest is not applicable and the other penalty provisions are not applicable. But the understanding is this much. There were few clarification on how this on what amount it is to be calculated. That also I will summarize very shortly. So supposingly your receipt till 30th September is 40 lakhs. Then on the receipt after 1st October, first 10 lakhs will be exempted, not counted, and beyond that you will have to collect TCS. Why? Because it is applicable beyond 50 lakhs. If you have already crossed 50 lakhs till 30th September, then from the first turnover itself it will be applicable. The clarification was also when to collect, sale or receipt. Although it is clearly mentioned in the act that on receipt, still there were few questions. The answer is that on receipt. Again, whether amount collected till 30th September, do you need to pay TCS? Of course no, because the section is applicable from 1st October 2020. So that's it. Thanks for listening. I will be back on something about international tax in my next video. Thanks.